Do you know that unchecked illegal immigration could change the face of Britain forever? This isn't just about politics, it's about the very fabric of our society, our safety, our schools, our jobs, and our communities. What we're talking about today isn't some distant, abstract issue. It's happening right here, right now, and it could impact the way we live our lives. Today we'll dive into a speech that could wake up the nation and force us to confront what lies ahead for the future of the UK. Nigel Farage's message is more than just a political critique, it's a warning for every single one of us. In the next 10 minutes, you'll discover the shocking realities behind who's crossing the English Channel, the everyday impact this crisis is having on hard-working British families, and why Nigel Farage's growing popularity is becoming a political game-changer. Whether you agree or disagree, these are the issues affecting all of us. This is a conversation we need to be part of, so stick around. Before we dive deeper, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss crucial updates about the future of our country. It's time to stay informed and take action. Now let's talk about who is actually crossing the English Channel. We hear about the numbers, hundreds, even thousands crossing every day, but do we really know who these people are? Farage doesn't shy away from asking the tough questions. Who is coming into our country, and how is it going to affect the people already here? We often focus on statistics. Yes, 973 people crossed last Sunday, 370 the day before that. But behind those numbers are real people, people we know almost nothing about. Farage raises a stark point. Many of those crossing are young men of fighting age with very little background information. And what's worse, most of them are arriving with no clear plans, no intention to integrate, and in many cases, no desire to follow our laws. Let's pause for a moment and think about the bigger picture. These numbers aren't just statistics, they translate directly to pressure on our communities. Over 1% of the British population is now made up of illegal immigrants. That might not sound like much, but when you think about what that means for our local services, it starts to feel very real. Imagine this, your local school is already struggling with overcrowded classrooms. Your GP surgery is overwhelmed with patients, and your social housing list keeps just getting longer. Now add thousands of new arrivals to that equation, most of whom don't contribute to the system but are still using its services. This is the reality we're facing. It's not just about immigration numbers, it's about the impact on you, your neighbors, your children, and your community. Farage shares a specific example to illustrate this crisis, a man named Madhab Pasa. Madhab has been living in Stockholm but now plans to enter the UK illegally. And here's the kicker, he's not seeking safety or a better life. No, Madhab is using this crisis to build his fame on social media. He's recording videos, bragging about crossing the channel illegally and using the broken system to gain followers and attention. In one of his videos, Madhab is partying with friends, fully aware that no matter what happens, he'll make it to the UK. Why? Because he knows that once he's here, there's little chance of being deported. He can game the system without fear of real consequences. Madhab's actions are more than just irresponsible, they're dangerous. He's not coming to integrate into British society or contribute. He's coming to take advantage of a system that is already stretched thin. But the most alarming part, he's covered in tattoos, including one of a gun on his face, and in other videos he's seen with real weapons. This isn't some harmless prank. This is a man who's openly defying British laws, showcasing violence and planning to move into our neighborhoods. Imagine someone like Madhab moving into your street. What kind of future does that create for you, your family, or your community? Do you think the government is doing enough to control who's entering the country? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. This is a debate we all need to be part of. You might be wondering, how does this really affect me? Well, it's easy to think these issues don't hit home, but the truth is, they already are. Let's talk about how. Take Jane, for example. Jane is a single mother of two, living just outside London. She's been working hard her entire life to provide for her kids. But lately, she's been facing challenges she never saw coming. Her local GP surgery is overwhelmed. It used to take a week to get an appointment, now it takes over a month. The schools in her area are packed, class sizes are growing, and the quality of education is starting to suffer. And Jane, she's been on the social housing waiting list for years, and it just keeps getting longer. This is the ripple effect of unchecked immigration. More people coming into the country means more pressure on public services. Jane is struggling to get the help she and her family need, not because of bad luck, but because the system is buckling under the weight of new arrivals. It's people like Jane who feel the direct consequences, and yet no one in power seems to be talking about how we fix it. What's happening to Jane is happening to families all across the UK. The pressure on our schools, healthcare system and housing is growing, and it's the people who've been here all their lives who are starting to feel shut out. Nigel Farage isn't just pointing fingers, he's proposing a solution. He argues that the only way to stop this chaos is to bring back swift deportations, just like the UK used to do 20 years ago. Back then, if you entered the country illegally, you were sent back. It was as simple as that. But today, the system has become so complicated, so bogged down with red tape, that it feels like illegal immigrants can stay here indefinitely. Farage insists that the Reform Party is the only one willing to make the tough decisions necessary to fix this crisis. He's calling for us to regain control of our borders and to put British families first. But it's not just about policies, it's about the will to act. It's about a government that's ready to protect its citizens and ensure that we have the resources we need to thrive. Farage's message is clear. We're at a tipping point, and if we don't make tough decisions now, the consequences will be felt for generations. This isn't just about politics, it's about the future of our country, and we need to start thinking about what kind of future we want for ourselves, our children, and our communities. Do you believe deportation is the answer to solving this crisis? Let's debate it in the comments below. What's the best way for Britain to regain control of its borders? Despite what the mainstream media might say, Farage's popularity is on the rise. He's becoming a voice for the people, particularly those who feel let down by both the Conservative and Labour parties. In fact, recent polls show that Farage is now more favoured than Keir Starmer, Ed Davey, and even Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. Why is this happening? People are tired of empty promises. They're tired of politicians who talk but don't deliver. Farage, whether you agree with him or not, is offering something different. He's offering action. He's offering a way forward for those who feel like they've been ignored for far too long. The Reform Party is growing rapidly, with thousands of new members joining each year. And it's not just about immigration, it's about standing up for British values. It's about ensuring that hard work is rewarded, that laws are enforced, and that we can live in a country where people feel safe and supported. Farage's growing popularity isn't just a reflection of his message, it's a reflection of the frustration felt by millions of Britons. So, where do we go from here? Nigel Farage believes the UK needs a political revolution, one that values hard work, patriotism, and real action on illegal immigration. But the real question is, what do you think? Is the government doing enough to protect British communities from the impact of illegal immigration? Should deportations be stepped up to stop the crisis, or is there another solution? The future of Britain depends on the decisions we make today. So, let's debate in the comments below, and if you believe a revolution in British politics is needed, tell us. Is Farage right? Should we be fighting harder for the Britain we want?